Howdy there. I'm Noah. I'm a detransitioned male. I was on estrogen for 4.5 years. I started transitioning at 18, and then I detransitioned about 6 months ago. Today, I want to talk about transition regret. Some people detransition and they don't actually regret transitioning in the first place. They see it as like part of their journey. Maybe they like the lingering effects of exogenous hormones. That's not me. Okay, I view transitioning as the single worst mistake I've made in my life. It had immediate negative consequences with my family because they could just like not wrap their head around my desire to transition. I wanted them to use this new name and pronouns like pretty immediately. They did not want to do that because they did not want to like affirm this identity that, yeah, they were hoping I would like come to my senses. I did not. I ignored them. But yeah, it drove this huge wedge between us, and that was really hard for me because I was close to my parents. I'm still close to my parents. Yeah, I went into my freshman year of college during COVID, and this was all like the first year of my transition. And I had a really hard time making connections like on campus or like with anyone, just because like I was a very non-passing trans woman, and honestly, I was never very good at like cohering to gendered expectations of women. So I don't know. I don't think people took me very seriously.
Good, good. I'm glad that they didn't affirm you. I'm glad that they stood their ground. And when you turned to 18, you basically turned away from your core principles and your teachings. But this just confirms that the word is right, that you put it into them young and eventually they'll never depart from it. Or they'll come back to the core principles of what you taught them. And the fact that his family stood 10 toes down and not calling him, not affirming him, not trying to make sure that he feels coddled and understood, but they looked at it as disrespectful and probably as a phase in his life is the reason why eventually he came back to the core of who he was supposed to be in the first place, and that is a man. You are a biological man. This also proves, and I'm sure that he's going to get into the rest of the story. I haven't seen the rest of the story, but this also proves that it's not about how you feel because you could just be going through some shit at the time. I also believe that it's a lot of this indoctrination and this affirmation and these places and people that's trying to figure out their life and then they get finessed and then they trying to fit in or they trying to be something that they naturally wasn't. And so when they going through a phase in their life, especially if they're under the age of 18, he just so happened to be 18 and trying to make decisions on his own, sound like he had a strong family household and some smart parents. He decided to go out on his own and eventually he came to his senses and was like, you know what? That ain't even me. I was just talking shit. I was just trying to do something I wasn't supposed to do to fit in.